and welcome to the Lillian McMorris Show. I'm Lillian McMorris. We thank you so much for joining us. We try to give you information. There's even times we will entertain you. But for the most part, I like to talk about nonprofit organizations, their programs, their events, and what they're doing in our community. And overall, what they have to offer various people within Clark County or within Southern Nevada. My first guest this morning, or today I should say, has been with his program. We talked, and I can't believe it, we were discussing the years, 1991. And I believe he was on my older shows when we just got started with Nevada Homes for Youth. Please welcome Ron Moore. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
I was so excited when I walked in and I saw you. I said, wow. Let's talk about the history, because what was your vision? What were you looking to do when you first started Nevada Homes for Youth?
I think basically was working with the state foster care program and system, that a lot of the kids would age out after 18, and I noticed they had really no skills to get out there and be independent, live on their own.
Correct.
And so I wanted to start a program that would help some of those kids, and they say they're kind of the kids that drop,
right?
Because they don't have the parents.
They get lost in there.
In the system, because they turn 18, the system says, okay, you're an adult, but they don't have the skills. A lot of, kids.
And they don't have family to fall back on. Right.
Most kids that age pretty much have their family that stay with them until they're 27 or 28. They don't leave the house.
Right.
But some of the state kids don't have that advantage, and they tend to have to get out there on their own at an early age. And so the program I designed was really to kind of help those kids and get them places to stay and help them learn how to get jobs and to take care of apartments and pay rent and all the things that they need to do to be out.
Because I remember you had classes, and the classes were, yes, we will give you a place to stay. And you're still in the same location, I think, right there on Maryland Parkway now. And now it's like right across from the center. But before there was nothing else there. It's like it was an apartment unit that you redid and had individual places for the students to stay. Yes,
we pretty much developed that program, and now we pretty much open it up to anyone. So it's not just for adolescents, it's for anyone. It's affordable housing, so that we offer it to the public.
Do you still offer the classes like the bank account, if you recall? I remember you had that, how to live on your own, grocery shopping. I mean, just the basics.
The basic stuff. We have changed our classes. We still teach at the university, and we still do a lot of things out of the centers, probation centers. But we really have focused on, corrective behavior, anger management, things that we know are getting kids in trouble. And that was kind of the biggest focus with I think that our program evolving into what are some of the biggest needs that we've seen in the community, even though we know that homelessness and kids that are out there that not having the skills. But the biggest barrier for a lot of the adolescents is drug addiction.
Yes.
And if we don't work on that issue, then we can't help them to learn how to be independent.
Right.
And
so what are some of the things that you offer as far as helping that youth perhaps get some sort of sobriety, get support from the system, get support from you, not necessarily from the system, relative to drug abuse?
We offer two programs. We have an inpatient program for adolescents 13 through 18. And then we also have an outpatient program as well for young adults that are 13 through 18. Those programs are pretty vital just because it offers a lot of different services. And then we still have our centers that are open 24/7, 7 days a week. And so we have people that call in that need help or have kids in crisis that we still continue to work with.
What sort of intake services? For instance, if a parent calls in, or let's put it this way, normally there's not a parent. So what if that youth, ages 13 through 18, calls in, I don't have a place to stay. They may not necessarily want to be honest about their addictions, but they need help. What's the procedure?
Procedures still, we have to do an assessment to find out where this young individual is at. Some young clients that we have that are really in need of housing, we try to work on the housing part first. And then when we get these kids in housing, we also find out that there are some other issues that got them out of the house. If they're staying with mom and dad, they were kicked out. And when we start talking to these adolescents, we find out that well, I was using drugs, and mom and dad said I can't stay here anymore, and so they told me I had to leave. And so there's a lot of other programs that we kind of partner with, that we work with,
Okay.
to kind of get these kids off the streets.
I believe in collaboration. Matter of fact, in our next, I'm going to do we're going to divide this up because you've
Okay.
got so much to talk about. We'll talk about some of your services and collaborations and your affordable housing. We talked a little bit about the substance abuse, and honestly, that seems to be the largest situation that we're finding with our youth right now.
It's really sad. I think that, and one of the things that we've tried to do is really do a lot of prevention type work. Is really getting the word out there, and our website, trying to have a lot of information so people can go on our website and kind of see.
Oh,
the
your
services.
website is very informative.
Oh, thank
Very
you. And that was really important to do that. I think a lot of adolescents have actually gone on the website and said, man, this has really been helpful. So we really wanted to design our website so that it was user-friendly, that adolescents can get on there and see the services that we have.
Right.
But we want the parents to be aware of it as well. The parents are the ones that need to know that the addiction and how kids are using drugs and how they're getting their hands on it is really important. I mean, now kids
So
are...
how do you educate the parent? Because there's so many new things out there that we as parents, we're like, I mean, I stay up to date, obviously, because this is what I do in the community, but you talk to various parents and they have no idea.
No clue. We have a parent support group every Thursday at 5:30.
Okay.
And so that gives anyone an opportunity to come down and learn about addiction and what to look for and the warning signs. The biggest thing is that kids are using their parents' prescription drugs. And that's kind of just getting people to understand that, hey, you got to lock some things up. You can't just leave things laying around anymore because your kids can get a hold of it, or the peer pressure.
Medicine cabinets are no longer medicine cabinets.
No, it's an invitation for kids to kind of go and see what mom and dad have in the cupboard.
Right.
So we want to make sure that they're aware of those things and that they know how to dispose of unused medication. And a lot of people don't. They think you can
No,
flush
it's
them
thrown
down
in a drawer.
Yeah, or throw in the drawer. But you can take it to any fire department or metro, and they'll take care of that for you. So
Right.
there's things that
I
you
mean,
can do.
there's even a receptacle at Metro headquarters there on Las Vegas on Martin Luther King. And
A lot of people don't know that.
yeah, and there's a receptacle there that you can go in and just throw in all your medications in there. They clean it out and destroy them for you. But a lot of people, parents specifically, don't have that knowledge. We're talking with Ron Moore, and Ron is the developer, the founder, the visionary, and he has put a lot of patience and tenacity into Nevada Homes for Youth. It's located right on Charleston in Maryland Parkway area. It's been there since 1991, so it's not a new building there. For more information, you can go to their website. It's nevadahomesforyouth.org, or give them a call at 702-380-2889. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the other services that are offered, specifically affordable housing. Talk about some of the things you're doing at UNLV, because that's not necessarily for just the young people in your program. That's court ordered, and you can help them with that. And then we'll talk a little bit more about what the needs are from our community. So we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
The Lillian McMorris Show is produced by Tego and Associates Productions. Multi-camera shoots either in our studio or on location. That's Tego and Associates Productions. Give us a call at 702-509-7728.
You know your business could really benefit from a great mobile app. Being accessible on mobile devices everywhere can take you to new heights of audience interaction that will improve sales, service, and your customers' overall experience of your experience. Thankfully, we're here to help. We can help you build a beautiful mobile app and mobile website. Rely on our expertise to handle everything from start to finish affordably and professionally. Contact us for a free demo to see what an app for your business would look like.
And welcome back. We're talking to Ron Moore from Nevada Homes for Youth. We covered quite a bit of things in the last episode, but this time I'd like to talk a little bit more about the affordable housing that he has available. We have many, many youth within our community, and the targeted audience for Nevada Homes for Youth is 13 through 18. He has 20 youth that are inpatient and approximately 60 outpatient. We'll talk a little bit about those programs, specifically the outpatient program, whereas anyone can come. Housing is not necessarily for our homeless teens. It is affordable housing for anyone who needs it. So let's talk about that first, affordable housing. Now, you've done a lot of changes and expanding and opened up Nevada Homes for Youth for people in our community.
I think that one of the things that we've seen is there's a lot of people in need and a lot of people that really need affordable housing. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to open it up, and we have our kids involved with that process as well. I mean, they have helped us in rehabbing some of the buildings and getting them fixed up. And again, it helps them learn different things as far as apartments. But we wanted to be able to provide a program also for families. And the nice thing about our affordable housing program, we've done a lot of really different things as far as helping them get into housing and support services that we get a lot of donations in the community that we give to the affordable housing couples and families that are in.
Right. What are the restrictions for one to come and utilize your affordable housing program? Some people who have affordable housing do not allow ex-felons or sex offenders or things like that. So what are your restrictions?
Our restrictions are, we do look at, criminal activity if there is that in their past. But I think the basic thing is to look for, are they working? Are they stable?
They're trying.
Yeah, they have to show us that they're
Because a lot of times if you have a place to live, you can try a little harder to get a job because, number one, you have a residence. You're not from pillar to post.
And we help folks that are looking for employment as well. We refer them to different agencies. But we want to make sure that they have stable employment. That's kind of, because we don't want to make them homeless. We don't want to put them in a situation where then they can't afford it and then they become homeless. So
now, what about disability? Would that be considered an income?
We look at that. We try to put them in. A lot of folks that come that are usually individuals, and they're looking for a one-bedroom apartment. Unfortunately, we don't have any of those available. We only have 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms or houses or townhouses that we have available. And so some of the folks that have that set income, so to speak, they really don't qualify for some of the larger apartments. And we try to save those for families as well.
Now, you not only have the location for housing that is there on Maryland Parkway, Charleston area, you've got a few other locations as well.
Yes, we have a 4-plex that's off of Sierra Vista. We have a 5-plex off of Stewart. We have a 5-bedroom home on Stewart and Lamb. We have a 3-bedroom townhouse that we're renovating right now off of Jones and Washington. And we have a 2-bedroom condo. So we have some, like 13 units that we kind of use for the affordable housing program.
So people who are looking for affordable housing, the best thing to do is to give the office a call and kind of say, this is what I'm looking for. Can you help me?
That's exactly
right.
We're
going to put that number on the screen again. It's 702-380-2889, and that's Nevada Homes for Youth. Let's talk a little bit about what you're doing at UNLV, because that's not just through Nevada Homes for Youth, people that are involved in that. You've got people within the community that it may be court-ordered that they have to take a specific class. What are you offering?
We offer corrective behavior for any adolescents and also anger management for young adults. We've also opened it up. We talk about a lot of different subjects, from bullying to drug addiction to a lot of things that really affect teens. But the main goal is to really get kids to understand about their consequences and actions and what they do. That there's always going to be a consequence. And if they are involved with different things, I think they don't, as adolescents, they're growing up. They're learning. They make all these mistakes. They don't understand.
To every action is a reaction, and there's consequences for all actions. That's exactly one of my favorite sayings, and unfortunately our youth do not understand it.
And that's true. And a lot of it's because they are not taught that. Those are things that a lot of the experience that I've noticed in working with adolescents is they kind of get from their peers, hanging around with their friends, and really getting the wrong advice as far as what they can do and they can't do. And so it's amazing because we offer that class, and we've had parents sit in there and really get information that they didn't have. Oh, I didn't really know that, because we really cover a lot of different things in those classes. Okay. We teach them once a month at UNLV from 12:30 to 3:30, and we're very successful with the kids that attend that, and it's open to the public.
That's wonderful. What other new services do you have, Ron?
Well, the classes, we want to expand the classes because we've noticed that really there's a huge need on educating our teens as far as some of the things that they need to know. And it's kind of funny when we're talking about the independent living classes, that was part of it. We've always had these classes.
Right, you've always had those.
It just evolved into what are some of the things we need to talk about. And we also invite guest speakers, and we encourage anyone that wants to come and participate and help us out and really working with teens. We have an Explorer program that works with, it's called Drug Free, to get kids off drugs. And we're trying to do so many things to really get the word out. And we're doing fundraisers. We're involved in the community. We're involved with the Rock and Roll Marathon, where we're looking for people to come and run for us and sponsor kids.
Come and run for us,
yes,
right.
And all those things we're trying to do to get the awareness out.
What do you need from our community? Because you are expanding by leaps and bounds, and you're reaching more of the generation than you initially started, 13 to 18 age group. And you've got a lot of parents that are now wanting to be involved because they want to know. So what do you need from the community to continue to make Nevada Homes for Youth a successful entity?
A lot, we need, all kinds of skill, people that have expertise and that have worked with adolescents, that want to work with adolescents. We provide so many different services. We also, with our classes, we have a math portion of our classes that we teach, and so we're looking for people that can help kids pass the proficiencies exam and really do well in school and science and reading. So, there's so much that we try to offer that we just need help with.
Right.
And, of course, financial help just to kind of keep these programs going. But the biggest thing is anyone that wants to get involved. And it's amazing every time. We get a lot of support during the holidays, but we need to have them
year-round. And I hear that all the time with our nonprofit organizations. They get loads of support at Thanksgiving and Christmas. But what about the rest of the year?
Yeah.
There are needs to keep your programs going, to keep those kids in personal effects, because they come with nothing. Right. You give them, and I know this for a fact, shampoo and conditioners, combs, brushes, toothbrush, toothpaste. You make sure that they have the basics.
And it's amazing that some of the kids that come into our inpatient program, a lot of the parents can't afford a lot of different things, and so clothes and just like you said, just some basic things
items
that they don't have. And I think that's what keeps these kids in the systems, because they don't have the support.
Because they don't have the support, and that's what you're giving them. Again, we're talking to Ron Moore from Nevada Homes for Youth, and his support to the youth in our community expands over the years from 1991 continuously through the present and the future. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to find out a little bit about his vision, where he would like to see Nevada Homes for Youth go. And he's also an author. So I've got a couple of books that I want to share with you. So come right back. We'll be right back.
10 Golden Keys to Effective Networking. This book is designed to strengthen your networking techniques. It is an ebook for instant download. Go to LillianMcMorris.com. That's 10 Golden Keys for Effective Networking.
Where do you go from here?
I think that it's like passing the baton. It's like trying to find other people that, like myself 20, 30 years ago, that want to kind of take the mantle and take Nevada Homes to a new direction as far as being able to keep it going. So, a lot of the programs that we have, we just need more people that are in them, more administrators, people that are coming out of college that really want to help with the nonprofit and see it grow. So I think that my vision right now is to definitely get more people involved and try to add more programming and definitely look to pass that baton to someone else.
Sounds good to me. Now, as part of the passing the baton, then that kind of leaves you a little freer.
Yeah.
And knowing, and most of you don't know, he is an author. And I have 2 books, and this one I've already read, so I'm trying very hard not to laugh because the title is absolutely wonderful. If it's raining men, why is your bucket empty? That's the title of the book. With the sub, How to Improve Your Chances of Finding a Lasting Relationship. And then we've got Relationship Diaries. When it comes to relationships, why are we stuck on stupid? I'm not going to say any more about that one. All right. Let's talk about the first one.
Okay.
What brought you to write that?
Um,
Now, I know you're a relationship specialist, so you've got all these psychological and all that stuff, but let's bring it down to earth to us,
Okay.
to regular folk.
I've been working with kids for many years.
That many years.
Many
He didn't want to
years,
say a number. He
like
said
over
many
30,
years.
that's for sure, but many years. The one thing that I've seen that is kind of relevant is a lot of the kids we work with come out of single-family homes.
Mhm.
You know, I came out of a single-family home. And, you know, and I think that when you grow up, you don't have that parent, that other parent there.
Mhm.
And I know that's really prevalent in minority families and situations.
A lot of families of color,
And so
indeed.
I said, why, you know, as a social worker and working with kids, you know, why do we have these relationships that are so dysfunctional? And I see that every day in my practice and definitely working with kids. And so I wanted to write a book that would help people understand about relationships.
Okay.
And I started reading all these different relationship books and going to classes. And the one thing that I came up with that I noticed that if someone really doesn't want to be in a relationship, it's not going to work. And so I broke it into 3 different stages.
Okay.
And stage 1 is someone.
Now, is this the one is Raining Men, or is this
Yes,
the
it's
Diaries? Okay.
definitely in Raining Men.
Okay.
Chapter 3.
Mhm.
But I identify 3 different stages. Stage 1 is someone that really doesn't want to be in a relationship, and maybe they just came out of a divorce or they just came out of a bad relationship, and they just want to date. And that's okay. It's okay to be in that stage 1 situation. Stage 2 is someone that really does want to be in a committed relationship. They just haven't found that person yet, so they're still kind of looking.
Right.
They haven't committed to anyone. They still kind of looking. They might be dating, but they still haven't decided that this is going to be the one.
Okay.
Stage 3 is someone that truly wants to be in that committed relationship, and we call that true love. And so to make it easier for people to remember the stages, I broke it into 3 different colors:
Okay.
blue, purple, and red.
Okay.
And blue, again, is that stage 1. Purple is stage 2, and red is stage 3.
So where does that 80-20 rule apply? Because I remember something about that in here.
You know, it's just that in every relationship, there's always going to be things you like about them, things you don't like about them.
Okay.
And what I try to get people to understand is you have to make that decision that before you decide to get out of a relationship, there's a lot of good things. And so
Right.
when I do my groups and I talk about relationships with different people, I get them to understand, like, you know, I'm having a hard time right now with my relationship, but I try to point out this is all the good things that this person has. So maybe give it a shot. Don't just, especially when you have, my biggest thing is when you have kids and you're
Right.
married, you have kids and you want to end it, you know, that's where I think I try to struggle and get people to understand
Because
that
people don't understand
it's not about
the
you.
hurt
That's right.
that
Exactly.
you leave on that child. They feel like they're the reason why. They feel like there's no answers given to them because it's adults talking
Right.
or
And-
yelling or screaming or whatever they do.
And that's true. And with my book, I think that even with, because I know you have to start so early in dating. I mean, you got kids dating in high school.
Yes.
And so I wanted to make sure that they have a chance to do that. So some of the things that we do, like I said, we give out the little bands that represent the 3 different stages.
Let's see those.
And we have
Red is True Love.
True Love. And
Blue is Coexisting 101.
Mhm.
And
Well,
purple is Discover.
discovered. Right. And so it kind of helps people understand where they're at.
Mhm.
And we have 2 events that are coming up to kind of help promote the relationships and get people to kind of back on track. Because again, we were talking about the internet dating and a lot of that stuff. And
Yes.
a lot of people ask me that. as
Not meeting that real person, because you have no idea the real personality that you're speaking with, or rather corresponding with via the internet,
and
texting or whatever.
right. And one of the things I want to do is to have events where people can actually get out and meet. We call them, mix and mingle where we have people that kind of get together and we do that. And so one of the things that we have is that we have an event at Kona Grill next Thursday, and we have one at Blue Martini on the 10th of July.
Okay. Relationship diaries. When it comes to relationships, why are we stuck on stupid? And our time is very limited. But give me a brief on this one.
That book was pretty much taken from all the interviews that I did for the first book. You know,
Okay.
One of the things that how we learn about relationships is either through our own experiences, our parents, or what we hear. And I thought when I interviewed all these people that were telling me about these horrible relationships they got in and all the problems they had, I said, why don't I put that so that everybody else can learn? So maybe they won't make the same mistakes as someone else. And so,
Okay.
like with anything, we have to learn. And it might be
Well,
nice
we
to
try
learn.
as parents even to tell our kids, you know, I've been there, done that.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right.
But they don't listen.
We
They
don't
have
listen.
to experience it
And
themselves.
so the relationship diaries is almost like kind of, because every chapter it asks you, how would you have handled that situation? Get you to think about the relationship so that you can make it work for yourself.
Right, and not necessarily be spiteful, and don't feel that jilting, and don't feel the negative energy and pass that negative energy on because you can't get any answers with that.
That's true.
We're talking to Ron Moore from Nevada Homes for Youth, and we've gone over quite a few things today. If you want more information, the website is absolutely wonderful, has lots of information on it. It is NevadaHomesForYouth.org. You can give them a call at 702-380-2889. They have grown tremendously since the start in 1991, not only helping youth ages 13 through 18, but also opening it up to help people within our community. Classes at UNLV. We have wonderful books that you read and get on Amazon.
Amazon. The relationship diaries just came out. I just finished that.
Okay.
So I haven't put that out. We're trying to.
But it will be.
It will be.
Okay.
But you can get both books on morethanlove.com.
Okay, morethanlove.com. That's it, morethanlove.com. So you can go to that for the books, morethanlove.com. But and then that's referred from NevadaHomesForYouth.org. So we want you to get that. If it's Raining Men, Wise Ear Bucket, Empty, and Relationship Diaries, and both of those I believe will help not only with relationships with our young people, but your personal relationships.